I'm currently a rising freshman going to West High School. So this is my project, the 3D scanner turntable. Basically what it does is it takes a small object, scans it, and then sends that scan to a program on your computer or something, and then that software makes it into a 3D model. So I chose to do this project because I'm very interested in virtual reality. For those of you that don't know what virtual reality is, it's basically where you use technology to create a virtual world where you can go into and you can interact with all of those things. So with this technology, you could scan something and then send that 3D model over to the virtual world, and you can interact with it inside there. So as this turntable turns or rotates this object around, my iPhone with a specific app scans the object and then sends it to a different software to create a 3D model. Obviously that would take quite a while, 10 to 15 minutes. We don't really have that much time. So I did have an example right here, but obviously I can't show you that right now. So basically the way I got this to work was I designed the turntable itself by using Autodesk Fusion, which is a CAD design software. And so we 3D printed it. And so the way this thing turns is I spin this wheel, which then is connected to a gear, which turns another gear, which then turns the turntable. So originally, in order to get a 3D model, you would use Autodesk Remake, which takes pictures and then stitches all those pictures together to form a 3D model. But after 2 to 3 weeks, which is basically how long I've been here, I've found out that it isn't exactly the most reliable source. So I switched over to Qlone, which is an app. So Qlone is, in general, just more efficient and better. But in order to export your 3D model, you have to pay money. So instead of doing that, I sent it over to Sketchfab, which is supported by Qlone. And I changed the Sketchfab file or file type into an STL file and then sent it over to Autodesk Remake. So I sent it over to Autodesk Remake because Autodesk Remake is, in general, just a better editing software to use. So my greatest challenge was probably the software, or deciding what software to use in order to create a 3D model. After 2 to 3 weeks of working on Autodesk Remake, all I got was something that resembled a crumpled piece of paper that had like a mouse drawn on it. So it didn't exactly turn out as I wanted it to. Well, considering how little experience I have with engineering and design, I thought that this would be a relatively simple project to do. But I encountered a ton of unknown and unexpected challenges that I had to overcome. Granted, this still is pretty simple, but I'm hoping to do a lot more with it in the future, like getting the camera to go over it like an arc in order to get multiple angles in order to have a much more clear and defined 3D model.
Any questions for Benji?
Did the 3D print come out the way you expected?
I haven't actually printed anything yet, but I could. Before I did this presentation, apparently my free trial for Autodesk Remake, which I had the mouse originally stored in, it like expired or something, so I lost the mouse. So the model that I was going to show you was the Sketchfab mouse that I had.
What about the parts to the actual scanner itself? Did they come out as you were originally anticipating?
Honestly, the parts were relatively the same. Granted, they didn't fit together as they were supposed to, so I had to spend like a day or two filing it down to make it all fit together.
Have you figured out how to get your 3D model into another like virtual space? that
Not
you
yet.
can-
Honestly, I don't have a VR headset or an Oculus yet, but I want one. But I haven't gotten to test it out yet, so yeah.
What pushed you to pick this topic to learn and do that?
What?
What pushed you to try to learn this topic about VR?
I like video games, I suppose. And VR is a relatively new concept, and I thought it was cool.
Next up, we have Karima.
The Autodesk remake because apparently it expired or something. So these are directly from Sketchfab. You can't edit it very well, so that's why I switched over to Autodesk Remake. But this is the before editing version of the 3D mouse. Well, obviously it's a picture, but you can't exactly, yeah, it's a PowerPoint.